Yep, it's me. I'm back again. I must be a mad hatter. Maybe certifiable. I don't know. But what I'm going to show you is a method that other people figured this out. I'm just showing it to you as to how you can, at least on a test system. And this video comes with a lot of disclaimers. Number one, I'm not responsible for what you managed to screw up. You're on your own on this one, okay? All I'm going to show you is the method to get Windows 11 installed on unsupported hardware. In this particular instance, it's going to be an AMD 3 CPU on a older motherboard. I think both of these are from 2011, 2012, something like that. I'm fairly sure that it may not even have TPM 1.2, let alone 2.0. It's obviously not a current CPU, but this is an experiment. This is an exercise. I would stress to you that you do this on a test system. Do not try this on your main system. If you only have one computer and you still want to do this, that's on you. Okay? My suggestion is, if you want to go that route and you only have one computer, disconnect all the hard drives that are in your system. Grab a 1 terabyte hard drive, even if it's used, or get one from Amazon or whatever. I think a 1 terabyte's not even $50. It might be under 40. Mechanical hard drive, stick that in there and use this method. Will it be slower than a solid state drive? Yes. But this is the way you stay safe. You don't do harm to your system. I'm not going to be held responsible. This method works for me, and I'm going to demonstrate it for you here in just a moment. Anyway, come along for the ride. We're going to have fun, maybe. All right, so the first thing we're going to need is the media creation tool, which I've already downloaded here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our regular Windows 10 install to a blank USB drive, which I've already plugged into the machine. Okay, so we are all set. All right, so now we're going to come over to our newly created drive. There we go. And here's the trick that I learned. Shout out to Tech Yes City for this little ditty here. First thing you want to do is you want to come over to the sources here. And in a separate window, I have here the ISO. There we go. Over here. There's the ISO file right there. All we're going to do right now here is I'm going to just right click on this thing. If I can get it to work correctly. I'm going to hit mount, which will open this up as if it was just a regular drive. All right, so again, we're going to go into sources on this one too. And on the original thumb drive, we're going to come down and we're going to delete a single file, which is this guy right here, the install.esd. We're going to delete that file. Yes, we want to delete the file. And we're going to come back over to the Windows 11 leaked ISO. And we're going to scroll down and we're going to copy this one right here, install.wim. We're going to copy. We're going to come over to here and paste. And that will take a little bit to transfer over. Okay, so now our modified install USB thumb drive is complete. Our next step now is going to be taking this and putting it into our test machine, booting off of this and doing a clean install of the Windows 11 leaked ISO. So let's get that started and I will be back in a moment. Okay, so here's our guinea pig. You may or may not recognize some of this from the previous video where I gutted a case. This is a MSI 990 FX-A motherboard. It's an AM3 motherboard, which has underneath this cooler an FX-6100 6-core processor. At the moment, I'm using GTX-1050 Ti. There is 32 gig of memory in here. You probably can't see that in this picture, but there is 32 gig of memory in here. I've got my modified thumb drive set. I've got a blank 120 gig SSD because I want to do this on a test system. I'm not doing this on the main system. Again, I'm going to stress that you should not do this on your main system. If you only have one computer, my suggestion would be disconnect all your current drives and put in a spare drive and do this just so that everything is safe and you don't run into any problems or nothing happens. We are dealing with a leaked ISO. There is some question as to whether or not the ISO has been tampered with, but we're going to find out. So with that being said, let's get the show on the road here and we'll see what we got here. Let me just put this in the corner. There we go. And I'm going to get this thing started up. Now the initial logo is a Windows 10 logo. So that's, you know, part of the modification process. It does do the original logo. But from here on in, everything else should be pretty much standard fare here. So we're going to just go ahead and hit next. Oh, by the way, also make sure that your network is disconnected. I just almost forgot to do that. You want to make sure the network is disconnected. We're going to hit install now. I'm not going to put in a product key. We are going to do Windows 11 Pro. You'll notice everything here says 11. We're going to hit next. I'm going to accept the license terms here. Next, custom install. Always do a custom install. There's our blank drive. We're just going to hit next. And it's going to do its thing. So we're just going to sit back, relax, and watch this thing go through the motions. I will speed up the recording here appropriately so that we can at least get some time compression here going on. I don't know that we necessarily need to sit here at normal speed for the whole thing. Anyway, I will see you shortly as we progress through this. Okay, we're going to reboot here. I'm going to pull out the thumb drive as soon as this thing goes blank. There we go. Drive out. There's our Windows 11 logo. So we're going along just fine. Okay, so here we are. It looks a little different, but this is all pretty much the same fare here. US, yes. US keyboard is correct, yes. We're going to skip the layout. So you can see it's all the same stuff, it's just dressed up differently. We're going to do the don't have internet because we're going to create a local account. Okay, so we're just going to put in here a typical user. Next. No password. Okay, now there's all this. This is all, again, it's presented differently, but it's still the same stuff. We're going to turn off pretty much everything that's here except for location. The location's the only thing. Hit accept. Okay, so here we are. Now, to look and see and verify, we're going to come over to, let's see. Oh, they don't have that system there. So we're going to have to go into settings. Just a second. There we go. Settings. And system. And come down here to about. And there it is. Windows 11 Pro, Dev. The build number. Now this build number has changed already since the ISO was leaked. So I'm not sure what the current thing is, but this is what we have. Here it is. FX-6100 processor, 32 gigabytes, 64-bit operating system, so it's all here. I am going to now connect up the internet and see if we can get some display drivers for the GTX 1050, which at that point it should be fine. You can see the system's fairly snappy, no problems. And we're going to go through the Windows Update stuff. There it goes. All right. First thing we want to do is bring this back down to something reasonable. Changes, and we're going to put this back here at normal. There we go. We're all set. Okay, so we're good. Everything's up and running. And that's pretty much it. We've got Windows 11 installed on unsupported hardware. Alrighty, so let me plug in my little other thumb drive here. And we're going to go into this guy, and I'm going to install a few programs here through something called Ninite. I don't know if any of you guys know about this program. But if you go to ninite.com, you can pre-select a bunch of stuff to install. It will create an installer which you can then download and then run on the machine. You don't have to go hunting for things. It's just going to install stuff. So watch as this goes through. Okay, all stuff's installed. So let's see what we got. All right, Firefox appears to run. Don't see any problem there. Let's go to our favorite spot here. And we'll just pick something kind of random here. Okay, so obviously Firefox seems to work reasonably well. No problems there. Okay, so that's running. Let's bring up VLC. That should run without it. None of this stuff should be a problem. That's obviously working. All right. Okay, that's running up. No problem. So we're good. And iTunes is up. So far, everything is running well. I'm not going to pull up TeamViewer because I don't want the ID to be known. But let's pull up Malwarebytes and let's see if we can find anything lurking around in this build. I don't think we will, quite frankly. I think we're pretty much there. So, anyway, that's how at least I got this to install on unsupported, supposedly, hardware. You can certainly try this if you can get a hold of the leaked ISO. I am not going to tell you where to find it. But if you do find it, what you've seen me do is exactly how I got this on this supposedly unsupported hardware. So with that, I think it's pretty much done. I will probably put in a few final thoughts here shortly, but that's it, folks. That's how you get it installed on unsupported hardware. Basically, what you're really doing is the initial boot is the Windows 10, but the install file is from Windows 11. So that's it. Anyway, have a good one, folks. There we go. There's nothing going on. Everybody's happy. Everybody's fine. So we're good to go. Okay, so you've seen the method that I used. Again, I'm not the originator of this method, but it works. It works fairly well. Again, I will stress, do this on a test system. Do not do this on a production machine. Do not do this on your main computer at all. If you want to go and do it, please install it on a completely different hard drive or solid state drive with all the rest of your drives disconnected so that you don't run into any issues or manage to screw something else up. Or if this doesn't work for you, you have a fallback position. Now, I happen to have enough hardware around here that I had something to try this on. I would not do this on anything that you have to work with day to day. So hopefully it was educational for you. You know, if you have success with it, please leave me a comment in the you know, down below the video and let me know how it worked out for you. Again, I'm not going to be held responsible for this. This is an experiment. It's not meant to be, you know, it's not meant to be viable, at least as far as you know, a working everyday system. It's not meant for that. First of all, we're dealing with a leaked ISO from the dev channel. I know that there has been a new build at least since that ISO was leaked out, so there could be significant changes. This particular install, I was not about to activate it, so there will be restrictions unless you activate it. So you'll have to deal with that. Anyway, hopefully, again, this was educational for you, and you'll you take it with a grain of salt. We'll see you all sometime down the road. Thanks.